Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to this session on Integrated Program in Law offered by none other than IIM Rohtak. And today we have distinguished guests from IIM Rohtak. We have Dr. Koustab Ghosh, who is the Dean of Academics at IIM Rohtak. And we also have Dr. Rima Mondal, who is the Co-Chairperson of the Integrated Program in Law at IIM Rohtak. While a lot of people are definitely surprised, and I received this query a lot of time. How does, and I am doing a law program actually. I'm sure that will be addressed during the course of the session today. But before that, let me welcome our distinguished guest and thank you, Dr. Ghosh and Dr. Mandal, for coming live for our students and to help them understand about the program, to know about the IPL more in detail, and how the selections to the program will happen, and what are the expectations when it comes to the students. So what the institution is also looking forward to. I think if you can share the light on this aspect during the course of the session, that would be really great for our audience. So, but before we go ahead and start picking up the questions from the students, I would like to invite Dr. Rima, and she would like to share a short presentation about the program itself. So, Dr. Rima, you are most welcome. Please go ahead and show us some light about the integrated program which IIM Rohtak is offering at this point of time.
Thank you so much, Mr. Amrendra, for this introduction. I'll just give a brief about the program, like with what idea the program was introduced, and what the course structure is like. I hope the PPT is visible.
Yes, it is.
So just a brief about the program. So it's a 5-year integrated program in law, BBA-LLB degree, which is being offered by Indian Institute of Management, Rohtak. So the program is an interdisciplinary program which aims at providing an in-depth knowledge of business management and intricate details of law and governance. So here we expect the students to get an opportunity to pursue legal education, and hence we have formulated the curriculum in a manner which comprises of many law subjects as well as the business courses. So some of the law courses are like international law, comparative law, foreign law, domestic law, land laws, etc. So these are some of the courses that will be offered to the students during the course of the program. Yes, and the program is comprised of 15 terms. So it's a 5-year program, integrated program. And in the 5-year, we have 3 terms in each year. So a totality of 15 terms, which is spread over 5 years of the program. And on successful completion, the students will be awarded with a degree of BBA-LLB at the end of the 5 years. So now the question that arises is why a student should choose an IPL program from an IIM. So giving a brief about what was the idea behind launching the program. So as we all know that IIMs are known for the foundation in business education. And here, we have our flagship program, PGP program, and we also have integrated program in management. So we have a good in-depth knowledge about the business problems. And the pedagogy that we adopt here at IIM system is that we inculcate the knowledge through case-based studies. So basically, that is the main difference that that why an IIM is different from another institute which provides a similar BBA program. Here, the emphasis would be on case-based pedagogy, and we have access to many resources which comprise of the business cases from Harvard, Emerald, and other eminent resources. We also focus not only on the case-based pedagogy, but we encourage our students to take up research. And for that, we have introduced many courses in the domain of IT and analytics so that students are well equipped, in the field of data analysis, etc. Apart from that, we do understand that law is a program where the students should not only have a knowledge of analytical skills, they should also have knowledge about communication skills. Hence, we have introduced many courses like language skills in English, foreign languages, etc. During the first term itself, first term itself, so that they can develop the communication skills. To facilitate the students to have a more wide view of what is happening in the industry, we do have industry interactions. We have more than 80 plus industry interactions, and we have guest lectures where the students get an opportunity to directly discuss the business problems with eminent business leaders from industry. Regarding the campus, so our IIM Rohtak campus is located here at Rohtak, which is a 200-acre campus, and the new campus is proposed in Gurgaon, and we have best of classroom facilities, seminar halls. We have a good library with well equipped with the courses related to law as well as management. So just a brief about how the course structure has been designed. So this is the second year of the program. In the first year of the program, we ensured that we do have an access to distinguished faculty members. So we many faculties from a very good business school around the world taught the students in our IPL program. In the first year itself, we have introduced moot court exercises. Students are taking up social internship. So a total of 5 internships will be taken up by the students across 5 years. The students will also be offered seminar courses and clinical courses. And we also propose to provide placement support on completion of 5 years of the program. So this is a glimpse of some of the courses that are offered to the students in the first 3 years. I will not go into the details as the details are already there in the IIM Rohtak website. Next slide, please. And these are some of the courses that are offered in 4th and 5th year. So mainly we can see that we have proposed a mix where the first 3 years are mainly composed of management related to management subjects, and the 4th and 5th year are more mainly the law courses that will be offered in the 4th and 5th term, years. So I will just give the eligibility criteria, which is I think will be very informative to the students. The student should have a minimum 60% in class 10th and class 12th, which is basically for the reserve category. It is 55%. The the maximum age is 20 years of age as on July 31st, 2022, and again the reservation will be as per Government of India norms. Selection procedure. So first, the students need to register for the program. They should need to give the CLAT examination, and thereafter they will be called for personal online interview. So a total of 3 criteria have been designed based upon which a student will be selected. 45% of the weightage will be given to his or her CLAT score. Then 15% of the weightage will be given to online personal interview, and 40% weightage to the past academics, that is how he or she has scored in class 10th and class 12th. So this is the basic selection criteria. And all other information you can get on the IIM Rohtak website. So this is a brief about the program. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Rima. And I think a lot of queries have already been answered if you look at this short presentation which you gave about IPL. I do have some queries, and I'm sure students who are watching this session right now, the parents, they also have certain queries. So we'd request all the students and the parents to put their queries in the chat box, and we'll pick up all the relevant questions from there. But before that, before the students give the questions on the chat box, here is a question I would like to ask Dr. Koustab, because he's already here, and he is also the Dean of Academics at IIM Rohtak. First of all, welcome, Dr. Koustab. And my question is very simple. Most students would want to hear about. We all know that if you look at the current scheme of things, there are a lot of other institutions which are on the priority list of the students actually. So especially when we talk about the national law universities. So can you talk about a certain few different things which IIM is doing when it comes to the IPL program, which should be definitely compelling a student to think about IIM Rohtak and definitely look forward to this program? What is something different which is out there in this program?
Okay. There are 2 main things about it that I would like to mention here. First of all, when we conceptualized this IPL program last year, 2021, we did a market survey because IIMs are not in this domain of IPL, BBA-LLB. We are the first and only IIM so far who have entered this domain. Therefore, the question was front of us, like, why do we want to provide this particular program? So from our survey, we found out that there is a distinct gap of corporate qualified management come legal professionals. What I'm trying to say, particularly in case of execution, development and execution of business contracts and agreements, mergers and acquisitions, consumer related issues, then forex related transactions, cross border transactions, so on and so forth. There are a lot of issues and areas have emerged in the current corporate scenario, and for which the organizations, particularly multinational corporations, are struggling to find out qualified people who has a balanced knowledge in the domain of management as well as in the domain of law. That's one part. Second part, IIMs are known for its reputation, rigor, academic quality, so on and so forth. Therefore, being part of any program that is being provided by an IIM itself talks of academic reputation, academic credibility, and great enhancement in one's CV, as well as building up employability criteria. Of course, it's being a full-time regular program, there will be placement assistance at the end of the program, 5 years, and we are quite hopeful that the first batch is now going to move to second year, and they are doing quite well, and I'm sure now they will go for their internship, and I'm sure this program is bound for success and it will really do well. We have a representation from large number of states in the first batch itself, as well as we have a proportionate representation of gender in the first batch also, and I'm sure things will improve further as we move on with this program. So I think in short, I have answered your query.
Yeah, very well. In fact, I would strongly agree. And my students who are also part of the other programs at IIM Rohtak, the IPM program in particular, they talk about the academic rigor which they have to go through and the discipline which the institute is trying to inculcate in them. So they are really happy with that fact, actually. And I'm sure IPM would be no different. One of the questions we got while we were going ahead with this session, we got some student queries. And one of the questions was about the campus itself. So this program, I believe, is being run from the new extension, which is Gurugram. And from there, this program is being run. So if you can elaborate a little bit about the facilities being a new campus, and at the same time, is this program a fully residential program, or it will become one in the future?
I think I can answer, and then probably I can pass on to Co-Chairperson, Professor Rima. First of all, we envisaged this program to be not to be a residential program, because we kept it open to the students at their convenience, and therefore we had a plan to offer the first batch itself in our extension campus at Gurgaon. But most unfortunately, because of the pandemic, the things could not progress at the desired pace, and therefore things were slowed down. And since the COVID was prevailing at that point in time, we extended the hostel facility to all desired students, all willing students, and currently they are in campus, they are attending the program from the Rohtak campus itself. But yes, in near future, we have a plan. Once the Gurgaon campus develops, we want to offer this program from the Gurgaon campus, and therefore these residential things and etc. will all be optional, and we would like to have a kind of day boarding kind of facility. That's we had in mind. So in addition, I would request Professor Rima if she would like to add anything.
Uh, Regarding the facilities, as here at IIM Rohtak campus, we already had the facilities regarding the mess facility, the library one. So once we decided that due to the pandemic we cannot start the program from the extension campus, we increased upon the facilities, and now our library is well equipped with all the law journals, Manupatra, etc. All the journals have been acquired, and a dedicated floor has been given to the IPL program, and mess facility is also open. A separate mess for the IPL students has been created. It was already there, it was renovated, and then it was opened for the IPL students. A hostel facility is also there. We have a gym, yoga center. So these kind of facilities have been extended to the IPL
So
students.
let me just add, probably you'd like to know that IIM Rohtak is the largest among all IIMs in terms of student strength. When I say all IIMs, including the older IIMs, okay, because we have students crossing over 1,000 almost, and it's a fully residential campus both for UG and PG programs. Therefore, we have adequate recreation facility, indoor and outdoor games facility. Of course, we talked about knowledge resource center. That's a library, academic block, students hostel, mess facilities, etc., etc. It's a fully equipped residential campus prepared to accommodate for 1,000 plus students, and so there is no issue as such. So far
Okay.
as infrastructure.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Before I go ahead with my question, I would like to pick up a question from the audience itself. So first of all, the question is how to apply to IIM Rohtak and for this program, definitely. And the second one is about the intake. So what is the intake? And in fact, that would have been my question itself. And is there any plan to increase the intake in near future? Maybe not this year, maybe from next year onwards?
What was the first question? Can you please
So
repeat?
how does one apply to IIM Rohtak?
So
So
basically, how that's what the point is, how to prepare. Okay. So there are two aspects. First of all, let me first answer the second question. We do not have any immediate plan to increase the intake, because any new program that we launch, we normally take few years to get it stabilized, and because we are also relatively new to this field, we are also learning and gaining experience batch by batch. So there is no immediate plan to enhance the intake. That's number one. Number two, coming to, if you look at the criteria or weightage related to admission process, there are three major components. One is the past academic record, 10 and 10 plus 2, 40% weightage. Equally, I believe 20%, 20% each for 10 and 10 plus 2. Then CLAT examination, 45% weightage, followed by personal interview, which accounts for 15% weightage. So I believe students are currently appearing in 10 plus 2, and uh, the result is yet to come, but they already have the score available with them for class 10. So that's the past academic record. Second comes the performance in the CLAT. I believe that's scheduled on 21st of
19th of June, this Sunday, 19th
yes,
of June.
19th of June. So performance in the CLAT, there are various sections. It's normally in the line of any national level competitive examination. There is English proficiency, there is quantitative aptitude, there is logical reasoning and data analysis. I'm sure candidates have prepared well in line of the examination of CLAT. And rest is interview. In the interview, we look for certain specific parameters. Like first of all, is the academic proficiency. Whatever is the discipline of the students at 10 plus 2, be it arts or commerce or science, whatever may be, how sincere they were. So the academic knowledge is being checked. That's number one. Number two, overall appearance, confidence, and communication skill. That's very important, extremely important, because we, being a management institution, we groom candidates to be corporate citizens, and therefore, how do they carry out themselves? How confidently they carry out themselves during the course of the interview becomes extremely important. And of course, the third one is the overall general knowledge, what is happening, whether the candidate is largely aware of what is happening around him or her in the environment, and probably with if he or she is carrying any extra or co-curricular activity, probably that can help. So these are the three main factors which are being looked into as part of the interview process. So one is past academic record, 10 plus 2, performance in the client, and performance in personal interview. This is
Okay. So, may I ask Dr. Rima, what is the current intake of the program? And if you can also throw some light about the first batch we joined last year, while it was a tough time to start a program. But I think only and IIM would have taken that call to go ahead and start a program during COVID times. I think nobody would have even thought of it. So, first of all, what is the current intake? And if you can show some insight about the students, as Sir mentioned short while ago, that we have students from across the country, representation from across the country. So, if you can throw some light about those students actually as well, the profile of the batch, I think that would really help the students.
So the intake that we propose for this year is 120, and so in the present batch we have 123 students, and when we started off the program, we because it is proposed to be a non-residential program, we expected most of the students to be from North India, but when we got the applications, we were surprised that we actually got the applications from Pan India. So we, as a result, in our current batch, we have a good amount of students who belong to Odisha, we belong to West Bengal, and then from South India, we have students from Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, etc. So it's a mix of, there is a representation, of course, majority again do come from North India, but we have representation from Pan India. And regarding male-female ratio, we have almost 50% females and 50% male. And so the hostel facilities have also been provided like that. We have separate girls hostel, we have a separate boys hostel for the students, and they are performing really well. So the students are very enthusiastic. They are performing. So we have proposed that the faculty members over here, along with the students, they have come up with an idea of moot court exercise in the first year itself. So now we are going to have a moot court competition between the students, and they are very enthusiastic about it. They have proposed many clubs and committees. They are working on it, and because IIM is a system where students they themselves take initiatives, and we have inculcated this attitude in our present batch of IPL students themselves. So they are also coming up with ideas of many committees, etc. So
just to add on, a large number of courses are currently being taken by foreign faculty members. Now, of course, during pandemic, the classes used to be online, but now I think in this current term, they are having physical classes, and even there, a number of foreign faculty members will physically visit the institute, will take classes here, and then rest of the sessions can be taken online. So what I'm trying to say, we are not just limited to national territory. We want to bring the best faculty available for the course from the global environment, because we want or we intend to give the students the best possible academic exposure as part of the program. And being an IIM, we are committed to academic work.
Okay. So while Dr. Rima, while CLAT is scheduled the coming Sunday, which is on 19th of June, most of the students are busy giving the final touches to their preparation, and they'll be appearing for the exam on Sunday. So what is the timeline to apply for IIM Rohtak for this program? So what is the last date to apply for this program?
thank you for asking this question. So last date of application for IIM Rohtak is the 27th of June.
Okay.
So they can go to IIM Rohtak website and they can register for the program. and there only thereafter they will be considered to be for the admissions in the second batch of IPL. So I request the students to go to the website and register for this.
Yeah, so so I think that should be clear to everyone that while you are appearing for CLAT as an examination, and since IIM Rohtak is accepting CLAT score, but you still need to apply separately to the institution. You can go on the website. They have a very clear website which has the link for the IPL program, Integrated Program in Law, and you can get all the details as well, and you can also make the application from there. It's very mandatory that you apply there, otherwise they'll not have your scores and it would be difficult for them to continue with the process as far as you are concerned. So all the students who are attending the session right now, please ensure that you apply to the institution. While the last date is 27th of June, but you should do it beforehand actually. So one should definitely do that. Okay. So my other question is, while the program started, as I said, during a very tough time last year, while we were all around COVID, battling with the COVID. Uh, During the presentation, you spoke about the industry network, you spoke about the internships as well as placements. Placements, not of course for this program, but for the others. So, how the institution is planning to bring the internship and placement opportunities for the specific set of students who are coming from law?
So for this batch, like we have different kind of internship over the period of 5 years. For this year, we have a social internship. So the idea is that the students are exposed to different kinds of internship, starting with the social internship or rural internship. Then they will have management internship, and then they will have legal internship. So this year, they are. So what we do is generally we ask the students first to find out themselves that which company they want to do their internship from. Of course, we do have a database and we do have good industry networks. So the best benefit that the students will get from an IIM is that we have a good alumni network. So from there we have good industry connects. So generally we do connect the students with the alumni from where they can get the contact and they can get their placement in those companies for their internships. And thereafter for placements, so now it's just the second year, but again for the placements, we hope that we will go in a similar fashion as we move forward with the PGP program, because we do have industry connects and we expect, because as Sir has also spoken, that we are trying to build corporate lawyers. So we do have corporate contacts, and there we expect the students to get placed where they have the vacancy for law students. So that is the idea.
So I would like to add here, like I was telling you, like in terms of student strength, we are the highest among all IIMs. In terms of our flagship program, PGP, which is MBA, we are having the highest number of students. We have placed the highest number of students, and our placement is 100% for last few years, back to back, last 4 5 years. And even in the time of COVID, our average salary has gone up by 18 to 20% last year. So we are the highest number of students to place among all tier 2 and tier 3 IIMs, and there has been 100% placement. So what I'm trying to say, since our focus is on building corporate lawyers who are equipped with management as well as legal education, so a large number of organizations, they also have a requirement for this kind of professionals. So like when a large number of companies are visiting us, basically for MBA graduates, they also have a simultaneous requirement to look into for this kind of professionals, which they are going to become down the line. So I think placement is never going to be an issue. And same also for internship and other things, like she has pointed out, for we have adequate corporate contacts and etc. And the same companies which are visiting for picking up management trainings etc. They are also interested to pick up students in this particular program. And in addition, we also have tie-ups with NGOs, non-government organizations, and others, etc. And in case of rural internship or social internship, if the students have some personal preferences, otherwise, the institute can also facilitate for those kind of internship. So being an IIM is not going to be an issue as such. And particularly being again in Delhi NCR, we we have an advantage. There is a huge network in Delhi NCR because all of you must be knowing that a substantial portion of national GDP is accounted for by this region, Delhi NCR. And that is largely because of huge presence of corporates and all other types of organizations and institutions in this particular region, Delhi NCR. So I think from that point of view, opportunity is never an issue for us.
We do have a very interesting question. I think while I'm picking this up, but I think I can answer this. So the question is, one of the question is which is beneficial integrated from an NLU or an IIM. And I think Aditya, the sir has already responded that in the start of the session itself. Very specifically, why one should consider the IIM for this program, the law program. I think he has answered it very well. So that is definitely taken up. The second one is, I would say this is very interesting at this point of time. What's the average placement package, if they can give an idea? So, well, you must understand this program has started last year and it's a 5-year integrated program. And so the placements will definitely start in the 5th year, not right now. And first of all, predicting especially the placements, I think that would be unfair on anybody's part at this point of time. But I can only say, given my experience with the institution, my students' feedback, that is something, if you are planning to join the IPL, that is something you should not even worry about actually. So that I can vouch on behalf of the campus and definitely the institution. So that's something which definitely not at this point of time. And more important is the quality of education. Okay, so moving on, one final question I would like to ask over here while students they are placing their questions. Dr. Rima, you were talking about when it comes to internship, you have clear defined goals. Like first year, you have social internship, then you have management internship similarly. Now, because the program is more focused towards the corporates, this is BBA-LLB. How does this element of social internship comes into picture, and how does this help a student who is planning to get into the corporate world actually?
So the idea is that when after pandemic, I think we have become more aware that there is a lot of opportunity in the social sector as well. Not only to make money, but as such also there is a lot of opportunity over there. So the business is not only about making money. When we talk about corporate lawyers, etc., business is not only about making money. It's also about our social responsibility as well. So we at IIM we make very sure that when we focus on building corporate, corporates, etc., then they should also be aware of their social responsibility. So the course structure is also designed in a manner where we have courses of sociology, psychology, philosophy, etc. So that they are very aware of different aspects of education, not only the management education. So that's why we have ensured that in the first year itself, they should be exposed to some kind of social internship or rural internship where they become more aware of the upcoming social problems. They can understand those problems and then they can get back, understand the management problems, and then they can apply in their daily lives. And to develop better analytical skills, we should have perspectives from different aspects. Not only we shouldn't be focusing only on one subject or one aspect. So that is the main idea. Why we have a mix of these subjects and why do we have mix of these kind of internships?
So just to add on, IIMs are not placement agencies. The institute has a vision and mission, and if you refer to our vision and mission statement, along with other things, we also want to develop our students or graduates as responsible corporate citizens. So therefore, as she has very rightly pointed out, building an overall perspective is very important. Say, for example, in the last 1.5 years, this farm bill, so many things have happened regarding this farm bill. Like just from a mere legal issue, it took a very deeply entrenched social issue, and there are so many repercussions down the line, and and therefore understanding this perspective, as we are saying from the very beginning, it's not just a law program, but it's a management cum law program. Therefore, understanding the social issues, realities, environment is equally important so that they can build up a holistic perspective. So I think from that point of view, even in our flagship program, MBA also, we have the provision of rural internship, rural immersion program at the beginning of the program. Most unfortunately, for last 2 years, due to COVID, we couldn't execute it. But now we are going to do this rural immersion program. So I think it gives candidates a very hands-on understanding of what is happening around them. And I think that's something really important at this point in time to build up expectations, to understand reality, where they are going to operate.
Thank you so much, sir. In fact, I'm sure students after this session today, while we come to an end of this, students definitely have a goal now, and I'm sure they would definitely, the people who are currently live on this platform and the students who will be watching this maybe later, I'm sure they have now good reasons to think about the IPL program. And just a word of caution to each one of you, in case you have not already applied to the program, please ensure that you do so on or before 27th of June. That's the last date for making the application for the IPL program. Very important. Before we end this session, sir, I would like both of you to, in case you would want to share some thoughts about to the students, actually, I would say. I'm sure they at this juncture they are a little bit stressed out given so many exams are now lined up. They have just come out with from the board examination. So while definitely they will be looking forward to the IIM Rohtak, but any specific word of advice you would like to give to them, the students from this year?
Again, I think the students' basic interest is, how to do well in the admission process, and so that probably they end up by getting an offer. So as I said that your past academic record is very important, and you have many of them have already appeared in the 10+2 exam, or probably they are just going to wind up very soon. So that part you have already performed. Second part comes, which is very specific your performance in CLAT. Now the issue is there might be candidates who are otherwise good in academics, but sometimes things don't go well because it's a time-bound examination, and sometimes because of some issue or other, someone may not perform as expected in the CLAT. But again, that's why you have the distribution of weightage. See, for any reason you find that somehow you couldn't do well in CLAT, then but of course you are in a reasonable range, reasonable cutoff, and etc. But then please do well in the interview process. So that's why this concept of different components, so that if for some reason you are not able to do well on one particular component, then you please ensure you do well on other components. So basically this process ensures that consistently you are doing well. You may not be topper, we don't expect you also to be topper or someone throughout. If that's exceptionally brilliant, that's great, but sometimes there is some ups and downs, but overall you maintain some consistency. That's what.
Very well said. I'm sure this would have definitely motivated the students and the parents actually in this rat race where we talk about the marks all the times. We are looking at percentages all the time. And in fact, a lot of times I have seen students comparing themselves with other. I'm sure these words of motivation from you would definitely help them, and they would definitely try to do their best and not just focus on obtaining certain particular marks by anyhow. So once again, I would like to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Koustab Ghosh, who is the Dean of Academics at IIM Rohtak, and Dr. Rima Mondal. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here. Dr. Mondal is the co-chairperson of the program. It was it was a pleasure to host you on this platform for the students' benefit, and I'm sure they'll be very much interested and looking forward to apply to this program. On behalf of entire Career Launcher family, I also take this opportunity to wish all the students for the upcoming CLAT and other law entrances. I'm sure you'll come out with flying colors, and definitely you'll give your best performance on 19th of June. Thank you so much for attending the session today, and thank you once again to our distinguished guests.